March 25th, 1956. Dear Marcella, I didn't expect you to reply to my letter, but I am happy to see I was wrong. Your words have comforted me in a time of great distress. If only Louis was half the man you say Hector is. He has quite a temper and hits me frequently. I am willing to put up with it as long as he doesn't hurt Michael. But there are some days when it becomes almost unbearable. The other day I dreamt of our first date. We were watching The Postman Only Rings Twice again, but suddenly we were in the movie. You were Lana Turner and I was John Garfield, and we were both plotting to kill my husband. I hate to admit it, but I almost hope it was premonitory, like a premonition, I presume. To answer your question, I do still have our box. My brother is currently in Atlanta for work, and I was thinking of going to see him with Michael next month. If you are able to meet me there, we could open the box. No worries, I've already done that. Together and laugh at the silly things we thought important all those years ago. I hope to hear from you soon. But shall we try it again? Très sincèrement. A. P.S. You remember that secret language we invented so Sister Miller couldn't understand the notes we passed during her class? In secret language, I still do. Thanks for
I do
auto
like a happy ending.
translating that for me.
I just hope that's where your story is headed.
August 10th, 1957. Dear Marcella, thank you for sending me a signed version of your latest novel. I think it's your greatest work yet, but I do have a few comments to help make the next one even better. First, I believe Rose should be more concerned with what she deserves than what her husband deserves. He may not deserve the pain she will cause by leaving him, but they both deserve to be happy, and they won't be as long as they remain together, as long as she doesn't listen to her own needs. Also, I think it would be great if your next novel ended on a more positive note. Imagine if Rose left her husband and rode into the sunset with Eve. Imagine if they went to New York or Los Angeles, someplace where people like us are tolerated. Imagine if they got their happy ending. It would be the best story ever. I hope you will consider it. They really want me to try French. Très sincèrement. A. P.S. I know you say invisibility protects us, but don't you just wish to be seen sometimes? Wouldn't you like people to know you are Bridget Boswell, to recognize you on the street, to recognize you for your work? Why not publish your next novel under your own name?
Oh, so you came to Montreal under the pretense of celebrating your wedding anniversary, but all along, you meant to reunite with Anne.
January 13th, 1958. Dear Marcella, I left the house. I left Louis. I couldn't take it anymore. I couldn't lie anymore. How do you do it? How do you manage to live a double life, to hide your work and your novels from your husband? I had so much less to hide, and yet Michael and I are staying at the Clarington Hotel until we find a place to stay and the divorce is done. I don't know how long it'll take. Could you come and see me in Montreal? I really need you by my side right now. Let's try again. Très sincèrement, A. P.S. I wouldn't put it past Louis to scour every hotel guest book in the region looking for me under his surname, so I've registered under the name Beaumont. Say, that was a thing that it didn't click when we were playing, but when I was looking through the video later to edit, I was like, wait, there's a different name. One of the letters or notes we found, I think it was the one that talked about Michael's books for his school. They were calling her something else, not Beaumont, which is why I was like, wait a minute. But it didn't click at the time. Oh, is there any? There is selection mode.
So the symbols I've been deciphering, you invented them back in the day to keep your love secret. That feels really special.
That is presumably all that's
After
here. Right?
all this, turns out you're a fan of Bridget? Of Marcella? That's a lot sweeter than I expected.
Good thing I checked. Turns out actually there was. September 27, 1957. Dear Marcella, although you don't know me, I think I can safely say I'm your biggest fan. Your novels have literally changed my life. After the war, I spent almost 10 years in a psychiatric hospital because of panic attacks. None of the treatments were working, and I wasn't getting any better. I became friends with one of the nurses who started lending me books so I could pass the time. I didn't really like the first ones, but then I picked up Bridget Boswell's first novel, your novel. I've never read such a beautiful love story. It almost brought tears to my eyes. I immediately urged the nurse to get me more of your books. Believe it or not, the more I read them, the less panic attacks I had. The doctors thought it was their new medication. It was their new medication finally working, but I knew the truth. The truth. Your novels gave me the courage to get in contact with Lindsay, a friend from the war. I had always felt for him the same way your characters feel for each other, but I had never dared telling him. Now I have, thanks to you. The thought of seeing him again is what motivated me to get better and leave the hospital. I hope to hear back from him soon. After my discharge, I wanted to thank you for everything you've done for me. I've discovered Bridget was a pseudonym, so tracking it down took longer than I thought. Oh, everyone's figuring it out. Uh-oh. Ordinarily, I am a very patient and resourceful man, and I never give up. You think we could meet? I have so much more to tell you.
I'm glad you were able to open up to Marcella like this. Everyone needs someone to talk to.
November 8th, 1957. Dear Marcella, thank you. Paul, you being able to track people, you wouldn't happen to have a camera in a bird watching book, would you? Thank you for answering my letter. I realize now how unsettling it must have been for you. Please forgive me for tricking your editor into giving me your address. I know I shouldn't have done that. Well done, editor. I wanted to thank you as well for your encouraging words concerning Lindsay. I still haven't heard from him, and I'm starting to fear I might have the wrong address. I wish I could take a train to Virginia, but that's not an option right now, as I can barely pay the rent. I guess I'll have to find a job. We found letters about getting a job. As a kid, I dreamt of being an actor, a Hollywood star. I know it's a foolish dream, but what else can I do? What am I good at? I've tried getting some odd jobs already, but employers turn me down as soon as they learn that I've spent the last 10 years of my life. Where I've spent the last 10 years of my life, yes, and one of the letters was like, we can't hire you. If it continues like this, I'll probably end up on the street like so many of my army buddies. And that letter also said, thank you for your service, or we should thank you for your. I don't remember exactly what the wording was, but and also there was, now that I think about it, the letter from the battalion, or picture from the battalion. Why am I even telling you all this? After reading your books and getting to know you through them, I tend to forget I'm only a stranger to you. I hope you don't mind. You seem to be a good listener, and I've been feeling rather lonely ever since I left the hospital. Anyway, please tell me more about your life, and do not hesitate to write long letters. I must have read your previous one 1,000 times already. Paul.
An advance on my salary. So Marcella hired you. But what for?
Oh. Marcella hired you. Did Marcella hire you to track them? Wait. Marcella is one of the people getting tracked. Oh, we're starting to get convoluted. December 5th, 1957. Just read the letters and hope Sophie figures it out for you. I've just received a letter from Lindsay's mother. That was a stack of letters sent from Lindsay's mother. She tells me he's dead. Words cannot even begin to describe how empty I feel. He died 2 years ago, before I even sent my first letter. You will never know my feelings for him, and I will never know if he could have loved me back. I guess I should have known this would end in pain, just like your novels. I wish I had Lindsay's ability to find beauty everywhere. Even during the war, amidst the death and chaos, he would marvel at the forests of Germany, at the sun, the birds. He loved birds so much. You could identify them just by listening to their song. I have to admit your proposition took me by surprise. I was hesitant to leave home at first. I was afraid to miss Lindsay's answer. By now there's nothing keeping me here. I'm desperate for anything that would help me forget the pain. But I don't have enough money to make it to Texas. Do you think you could give me an advance on my salary? In spite of everything, I'm really excited to know I will finally meet you, Paul. Is there any... Yes, there is.
Oh, Lindsay's a man. Yeah, I guess it was presumptuous of me to think otherwise.
Oh, back. Okay. I thought we were at the first letter, but we were not. I assume that is all, right? Yeah, that's that stack of letters. That stack. We're not gonna throw that away. Nothing secret here, I don't think.
So, let me get this straight.
I really hope you
Mrs. Beaumont
locked it and
Mrs.
closed it.
Cruz are some kind of star-crossed lovers?
Seems like it, yeah. But I'm not sure whether they chose to meet here just to reconnect for a few days, or if there's something more to it.
Well, I may be able to help with that.
Really? How?
Oh, some mail arrived earlier for Mrs. Beaumont.
Oh. How many crimes have we
I
committed?
wonder what's in it.
We could open it.
I mean, that's kinda illegal.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I think it is.
Well, too late. I've always known I would end up in prison one day.
Oh, and she's not even like opening it in a subtle way,
So?
like
It's
steaming them
3
open
train
or
tickets.
something.
And, there's a tourism pamphlet for California.
California.
Well, it makes sense. It's much more progressive there than it is here.
So, Anna and Marcella want to go there to live their love freely.
Anne and Marcella, huh? You three are best pals now?
Well, after reading so much of their correspondence,
Yeah, it's gonna
I
be
kinda
really
feel
awkward
like
when we know
I
a bunch
know
about them and they have
you
no
know?
idea who we
Yeah.
are.
But what about Mr. Morgan, though? I mean, Paul. How does he fit into all of this?
Just here looking for the birds. And we know that. Do we know that she hired him? Like, I know it said in the letters, but you could just have been making that up, but probably not.
I think Marcella hired him. I found some letters Paul wrote to her. He said that her proposition took him by surprise, and that he'd need an advance on his salary.
What did she hire him for? To investigate her own affair?
I'm not sure. I didn't find the letter he was replying to.
And why did he have those pictures of you anyway?
I guess we'll never know for sure,
I mean,
but
because we're
I
snooping.
don't think it was ever about me.
It's always been about Anne and Marcella.
Is he
Exactly.
hired to
Well, it feels
try and
a tad
find a
anticlimactic,
way?
but
Like,
who needs drama, right?
At least it
is
made
he
our date
spying
pretty
on him
interesting.
to see
It sure did.
if he's cheating? To
You know,
because that
after
might be a
today,
reason.
I
Like,
think I get why you're so interested in the
because
lives our
didn't they
guests
talk about
lead.
Catholic school
I try
earlier?
to forget they
So maybe
exist
they're not
as
allowed to
soon
get
as
a
I'm done
divorce unless
interacting
there's
with
a.
them. But
Because we saw the letter
once
about
in a while, it's nice to remember that
from a
well, even
lawyer
the most put-together person could be an absolute
about how
mess on the other side of the door.
abuse that's not good enough reason for a divorce and stuff like that. So maybe he's trying to find something.
What about you? Who is Beth Lambert when no one's looking?
I like to
Someone
think
who
that
opens
with
other people's
me,
mail.
What you see is what you get. But maybe an extra Snoopy super sleuth could uncover a few more layers. Maybe ones I didn't even know I had.
Challenge accepted.
Come see me when your shift ends, all right? We could leave together if you want.
Sure.
Have
If
you
we're
looked outside?
able
I'm not
to.
sure we can leave.
With all that snow, I'm thinking maybe we'll have
Oh,
no
actually,
choice but to spend the night here.
I didn't know it was going that way.
Sleepover. We could set up a pillow fort on the mezzanine.
A pillow fort? We do work in a hotel, you know. There are actual beds here.
But
I know, but isn't
pillow
my way
fort.
so much more fun?
Well, we could take a page out of Michael's book and decorate it, and then spend the night throwing stuff at Bernard whenever he comes through the lobby.
Oh, now you're talking.
I'm just gonna pretend that I know what a mezzanine is. Oh, please
I
don't.
just have to finish my tasks for the
Okay.
day, and
Please
then
don't
I
have
can
the
leave.
quest. Not quest. I guess quest. The objectives to be find the mezzanine, because then we're in trouble. Okay. Yep. What do we have among the? I was like, "Eh, what on earth is this? Then I remembered. Oh, there we go. There's the letters that we just wrote. Read. We didn't write them. That one we read. All's well that ends well? Question mark. After looking inside Marcella's typewriter case, I think everything's fallen into place. There are a few lingering questions, but I think this is as far as the story goes for now. Anne and Marcella arranged to be here at the same time so they could rekindle the relationship they started when they were in college. I really feel for them after spending the day learning this story. Hope it has a happy ending.
That ringing. Sounds like the elevator doors are jammed.
No, I wouldn't have. Thank goodness you noticed stuff. I would have just gone. Uh. See, I was thinking, funny. There could be like a dead body caught in the door, and then this. Um. Paint? Some sort of jam? Someone left her shoe behind? A dummy? No, I think we have a corpse now. On the upside, maybe people won't mind that we're breaking the law, opening people's letters and stuff when there's a dead person.
Mr. Cruz?
Yeah, I think he might have expired.
Mr. Cruz. Oh God. Oh God. What happened?
Should we be investigating? And I mean, this is old-timey times. They don't have fingerprints, right?
Is
I think
this about
maybe.
Paul? Does that mean...
February 16th, 1958. Dear Mr. Cruz, thank you for reporting that guest's unacceptable behavior. We will look into it as soon as possible. However, we get to inform you that we cannot divulge a guest's personal information regardless of that guest's behavior. As I am sure you will understand, we are very concerned with our guest's privacy and our staff prides itself on its discretion. Please contact us should that guest bother you again. See, I'm thinking if I assume at some point the police would come and look, and I don't want them to see this and start investigating our guests. So we're just gonna make that go away.
Mr. Cruz's life insurance policy. Why did he have this on him?
Yeah, why did he have that on him? Oh, this is one number too much over the list, right? Because there were like 70,000, that's one too many, I think. Maybe.
Marcella? Okay, let's not jump to conclusions.
Well, of course Marcella's name is on it. Whose name else would be on it? You can keep that. Why does he have that in his pocket? That's such a weird thing to carry with you. Also, did he make no noise? Not only dying, but crawling all the way out here? What on earth happened? I was on the 5th floor and heard the elevator door ringing repeatedly, and so I went to check it out. I found Hector's body between the elevator doors, lying in a pool of blood. I checked his pulse and couldn't feel anything. On his person were 2 pieces of paper, a letter from Bernard, and a copy of Hector's life insurance policy. My head is swirling with questions. What does it all mean? How did this happen? Who could have done this to Hector? And if this was in fact someone else's doing? I mean, I don't think he did it to himself. Oh. This is what I wanted to click, and this.
Please let there be someone around who can help.
I think we might have to take the stairs.